Hey guys, this is Hunt for Games. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you're having the same problems I am, and you actually can't get on to Wildstar now that it's gone free to play. The great news is that there's been a surge of popularity and interest after the immediate launch of free to play. Unfortunately, this surge was a bit too much for their servers, and we're having a lot of issues. So I wanted to cover, some of the changes, how I felt about them, what we've seen since the Switch, but I really haven't been able to get on. This footage you see here was the only time I was able to get on yesterday, and unfortunately the lag was so bad I really couldn't stay on. It was very hard to work my way through menus, and combat was essentially totally out of the question due to the delay I was experiencing. I tried a couple things. I used a couple things like Ping Zapper or What the Fast. Not effective, which I didn't really expect them to be because all of the delay is on their server side. It's not an issue with me connecting to their servers. It's just, unfortunately, the amount that they're getting hammered. Hopefully, this is relaxed. At this point, that may even be resolved. I honestly don't know, because when I got home today to try again, there was a 3,500 person queue depth that I could not wait for. So as of I've still got an hour to go on that wait. It said 3.5 hours when I first started. So by the time this video's out there, maybe I'll have had a chance to play a little bit more. I certainly hope so. Still very excited. I mean, these launch issues are to be expected, but it's a bit of a shame because this isn't a new game. It's a game that's been out there for a year. This is their second launch essentially. So I mean, they should have had a little bit of practice, know what to expect a little bit. Seems like there's a couple scaling issues with character saving. You'll see a lot of lag whenever you get like experience or make changes to your inventory. I'm not sure if that's all related, and there's probably a ripple effect at this point that once one thing starts to experience such issues, a lot of other aspects of the game are affected, such as real-time gameplay and combat. But from my brief 20 minutes, I have noticed a few things that I didn't know were coming. The second tier of amps appears to be totally unlocked, regardless of whether or not you had those amps purchased or found in the wild before. Tier 2 used to be that every amp unlock in that tier, you had to find the amp from either drops or from a vendor. And now it appears that if you've unlocked the tier, you can use your amps to apply to any of those amps, which is great. I think this is going to be really great for the free-to-play transition. There's going to be a lot of new players that aren't familiar with the systems. And it's awesome that they can immediately just see that, oh, I've got this next tier of really cool. That's where the neater amp selections come into play. So I think it's really going to help retain some of that player base as they see some of the different mechanics that the game offers. Along those lines, they have changed around some of the abilities that are available to you. My character, I believe, was level 19. And did have a few different abilities that I didn't have previously before the free-to-play switch, which means that they have worked to balance the initial game and the abilities that are available to you as you level through those low-level periods a little bit differently, which I think is a good move. I think they recognize that one of the most important aspects of a new MMO for players is to get them over that initial hump in the beginning and get them into some of the more exciting content. And it's a shame when players can't make it past that like 10 to 20 period where stuff slows down a little bit, but it just isn't as enjoyable, and they just kind of fall off and quit when it could have like been really just about to get good. The game could have been about to explode with all the real content that it offers. And so it's great to see that they're really focusing on this. In line with that, I noticed that in my level up alerts that they kind of threw at me again because of the new system, it looks like by level 10 now, and I haven't been able to confirm this, but that's what it looked like when I was going through the character menu. By level 10 now, you get all 8 abilities in your hotbar, which I think is fantastic if that's true, because as of level 19, before the free-to-play conversion, I didn't have that final eighth slot. And I think, again, same reasoning. The more options you can give players early on to get them a feel for the game and how fun it can be, the better. I don't think... the only argument against it would be that if it's too much for a fresh player to get used to, it's too many abilities and they can't focus and they... But I think it's not giving the player base enough credit that they can't handle 8 abilities by level 10 in a game like this. I think most players won't have a problem with it at all. So yeah, I mean, besides the obvious server issues, so far everything seems great. There is slightly new graphic settings for an ultra texture mode. I didn't really notice a huge difference when I turned it on, but it's great that it's there. Excited to see what all this popularity brings. I'm excited to try some of the group dungeons, and I'm definitely going to level up a new character now just to get a feel for how it's changed overall in that early leveling period. I think there's a lot of great things to come. I think this is really going to be a great transition if they can just get over these initial server issues, and I know that the servers have been down a lot too, even when I haven't been trying to get on. And they've been working, round the clock to try and resolve those. So, I know it's a stressful time, and it's a shame that it's happening, because I do think that this could have been prevented a little bit with a little more stress testing. And I'm not sure the beta really provided that kind of stress testing scenario. But, we'll see. Hopefully within the next few days, things will calm down. Over the next week, we'll start to see those queues drop from the thousands into the hundreds, the more manageable, 10-minute wait times, which isn't bad for a launch period. And then over the next month or so, I'm sure a lot of the initial interest from players that this isn't the game for them and they just wanted to hop on to see what it's all about. It'll all calm down and everyone will be able to play, and I think it's a great move. And so far, like I said, good things from what I have been able to see, but unfortunately there have been a lot of hiccups. It's a shame for those players that are hopping on and don't realize, if they don't realize that the lag is happening. The combat feels pretty terrible right now. I mean, you'll hit an ability and it won't happen for 3 or 4 seconds, and then at that point, who knows where you're looking. And this is an action MMO, totally. It's key that those abilities feel like they're happening instantly. It's one of the best parts of the game, that visceral feedback that it's happening right away. You feel like you're directly controlling your character in this action experience. And I hope that new players aren't getting the wrong impression from the lag that we're experiencing right now. And like I said, that could actually be resolved today. I couldn't get in today due to the high queues, but who knows? Maybe the high queues are because of everybody's like, oh, it works now. I guess the only other thing I got to check out was they did add that auto look mode with 3 options, and one of them was, only when you're in combat. Unfortunately, this was also kind of messed up due to the lag because it thought I was in combat for much longer. But from what I can see, it's going to be amazing. Really feels a lot better to just be able to move my mouse around, and your character camera pans around natively without having to hold down right click. I know a lot of other games use similar mechanics in action-oriented sense. So I think it's a great move. I think it's a great option. And it's gonna make it a lot more fun to play. So I am really excited to come back to it. I'll probably keep trying over the course of the week to play and get some feedback out there for you. But like I said, unfortunately, all I've really been able to experience so far are these queues and laggy experience when I was briefly on late last night. So let me know in the comments, if you got on Wildstar, if you're checking it out again, your thoughts on this launch. I can't imagine anybody's gonna have anything good to say, but I'm trying to give them a break. I know launches for MMOs are tough, but this is one of the not as it's pretty bad. We'll see. Hopefully it's calmed down. It's only day 2 or 3. But yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the launch, whether or not you've been getting in and playing, and your thoughts on the changes. And definitely like the video if you liked it. Please subscribe for more. I'll have more Wildstar videos coming as soon as I can get in the game and play it. But yeah, thanks for watching.